Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry. Max is with me. After the window closed, we've had even more business tumbling through for Everton. It's been primarily outgoings. And I think if you speak with almost any Everton supporter, they would say that one of the best signings we have made in years is Marcel Brands. Okay? Everybody seems to be very happy with our incomings, which was Richarlison, Mina, Digne, Bernard, Zuma, Andre Gomez, João Virginia, and I'm not even sure, that may be it. But every single one of those fills a need. You know, beforehand we talked many times about, we really need a backup left back, or we really need a starting left back. We really need center backs. Heck, we got two. We really need a center mid to kind of either replace Schneiderlin or give him competition. There's that. We got two attacking wing options. All right, Richarlison and Bernard. Man, it's good. We're really happy. So incomings were good. Outgoings, as I think, as impressive. The sheer list here that I have. These players went out. Okay, this is a list. Garbett, Martino, Ashley Williams, Onyekuru, Morales, Besic, Klaassen, Rooney, Vlasic, Tereshaj, Funes Mori, Joe Williams, Callum Connolly, Anthony Robinson, and Bolasie. All right? There may be more. That's massive, Max.
That's incredible. It's like 15, 16 outgoings. I know a lot of those, Joe Williams, Callum Connolly, Anthony Robinson, they're all kind of youth prospects for the future out on loan and by all accounts doing really well. All the moves that they've made have been, really suitable for the career paths. And in terms of the other outgoings, Funes Mori, Klaassen, and now the recent one in Bolasie. Not so much Besic. I'll get on to Besic later because I'm a Besic fan. But some of these players that we've shifted, that at the start of the window, they looked like they weren't going anywhere. No one wanted them. No one wanted to pay the price for them. And as we've mentioned, it's a testament to Marcel Brands' business abilities to reap the rewards of what's to come. Getting rid of all those players, freeing up squad places. I think you need a 25-man squad, and we had 31, 32 players on our books. Incredible.
Yeah, there are players that I think you could see filling a role over the next few years. Obviously we want Onyekuru back. Obviously we want him here. But he's got to get some games with Nigeria first.
And if he ever gets a work permit.
Yeah, and that's how he gets the work permit.
Yeah,
is through those Nigeria appearances. And obviously we want Anthony Robinson back. We just offered him a new contract. However, when you look at a lot of these are loans, and that's probably the big beef that people have with these outgoings is that they are loans. We're probably going to see some more outgoing loans as well, or just outright sold. Pennington, Tyus Browning, Brendan Galloway. These are players that could be sold or loaned out in the next, whenever.
Yeah.
You can see that happening. Players that we've all felt had potential, but are starting to seem like maybe they're not going to fit.
Yeah.
But those loans, I think you look at the fact that we loaned Luke Garbett out. Now, why did we do that? He's getting older. He's probably not going to see any time for us. Well, it's because we just gave him a new contract and we were paying him too much money.
Yeah.
And no one is going to want to actually take anything like that on. Or Garbett, if he's smart, doesn't want to take that kind of pay, lowering in wages, you know what I mean? A docking in wages, whatever. So, we're loaned out Martina. Nobody wants to pay him what we were paying him. Same thing with Ashley Williams. The number of loans points out the sheer amount of errors that the previous regime had committed.
Definitely.
So the people that point to the loans, I'm kind of like, well, he's getting them off our books for the most part.
We're in a. I know it feels like we've been in a transitional stage for years now, but again, I feel like this is another reboot of the Everton revolution. We've finally got an air of professionalism about us now. You know, these roles of director of football, and you know, it's not so much manager, it's head coach. Because in his press conference today, he said, you know, business just isn't his domain. He's solely with the players, Marco Silva. It's a big difference from a chief scout filling in for the first time as a director of football, and it goes back to my point that I'm making, that you know, we see him like a professional outfit now, and I think we've just got to take these necessary steps, which will take a few seasons, getting rid of all the dead weight. By all means, it's going to mean loaning them out so people can just cut the wages, and it gives them a place to play. It's just going to sit away and rot here. Not just that, obviously, you know, we want to evolve ourselves as a club. So it's the man management elements of the club just seem to look a whole lot better. And as I say, it'll take a few years, but we're in the right direction.
Yeah. I think all of us were a little wary of the director of football position. It seemed like, yes, it works for a lot of those, you know, mega clubs, but why not just have your manager handle all that? We were all a little bit wary of it because it was new. And I think we were also concerned that we were getting in, the only people we'd be able to bring in would be people who don't have the experience doing it. They'd have to mold their job, and it would take a long time. What we dealt with Walsh. Brands comes in, he already knows the job. He's ready-made. He walks right into it. He's not having to learn on the fly. It's a killer sign.
I think with Brands as well, he knows the elements of a football club that are required to make a football club successful. Whenever he's put in front of a camera, he emphasises just how important it is to have a productive youth system that brings through quality. He's mentioned the age, which I think it's quite interesting, although he said, you know, we need our experienced players in there, you know, an older head benefits in the dressing room, etc. The average age of our summer signings is just 23 years old. So as I mentioned, it's all pointing in the right direction for the future. And I genuinely, you know, hand on heart, don't think we would have pulled the likes of Andre Gomez, Luca Digne and Gerry Mina without the persuasiveness of Marcel Brands.
Yeah, and you notice, and I think this is Brands and Silva, there are certain players who are not going out on loan, that are younger, that a lot of us have had excitement about for a while. Currently, Kieran Dowell's still with the team.
Yeah.
Currently, Beningame still with the team. Tom Davies, some thought he should be going out on loan. He's still with the team. Probably going to be starting this weekend. DCL, some thought he needed a loan. Still with the team. You know, Lookman, Silva is adamant that we're trying to keep him.
Yeah.
Whether that's a smokescreen or not, whatever. But he's adamant. These are young, talented players who may not be completely ready to start week in, week out, but they probably will be. I think he sees that as, you know what, if our main starters get injured, they can slot in and do an admirable job.
Yeah, and I think the fact that there is a duo, so to speak, it helps a lot in terms of for the players, because with the Lookman situation, for example, Silva's come out clearly and said technically he rates the player really highly. And I just think the difference in opinion, you know, you've got your manager, then you've got your director of football. The manager has made it obvious as day that he wants you to stay, and you know, he thinks very highly of you. And it kind of ties into what you were saying about the manager handling all the business otherwise. The manager doesn't have to be a front for the club in that sense. He can be, you know, he can speak his mind and he can speak freely, which has come across from Marco Silva in his press conferences. He really reminds me of Jose Mourinho when he came over in 2004, the kind of allure he's got and how he speaks. But having the kind of, it's dynamic, I think. You've got someone with the business savvy of Marcel Brands and the people power of Silva. It's a recipe for success.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I think right now, Brands is going to have to do a lot to kind of sully our opinion of him before January.
Yeah.
When he will get back into high gear. You know, he did say after he starts getting these any other players shipped out, he's going to start focusing on like the youth, like 15, 16-year-olds and that kind of stuff. So I want to see what he's going to do with that.
Yeah.
And also I want to see moving forward. He mentioned he's got involved in the kits as well. What would happen with that? I don't even know.
Interesting.
So, yeah. So, anything else on Marcel?
I know you just mentioned there you can't see our opinion of him being sullied until way past January. I think there might be a few naysayers if Lookman eventually does get sold. But
that is a good point, and I don't know why I didn't think about that. There will be naysayers about that. You're totally right.
But I just think he brings a resilience with him. Obviously, the job he did at Alkmaar and the job he did at PSV. I think the proof's in the pudding with the longevity that he served at clubs, that he knows his way around situations. It would have been lovely to see what he'd have done around the time we sold the likes of Stones, Barkley and Lukaku, or if that would have even happened under Brands. But, it's all good from me, all good.
Yeah. And again, I'm really curious as to what in the world we're going to try to bring in winter. I'm assuming any kind of injuries we deal with are going to be dictating that. But yeah. Oh, and one other thing, the João Virginia kid apparently looked really good in the U23 game this week.
Good stuff.
Apparently he got a standing ovation when he came back to the locker room.
Oh.
Have you heard of anything like that happening? That's awesome. Cool. Yeah. So, that's comforting that our third-string keeper, looks good. It's nice. Sounds like a good signing. Yeah. I guess that's it on Marcel Brands, our new golden god. Please subscribe to the Toffee Blues YouTube channel. We're nearing 1,100 subs. And that is all because of you, so thank you. Also, check out Max's work on the Toffee Blues website. He's got some analysis on there. A lot of other people do too. There's a lot of talented people that contribute to that site, so please check them out. Please follow the Toffee Blues on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. All right, so I think that's it. Max, I think we're ready to cut out. So Max, thanks a lot, man.
As always, been a pleasure.
All right, everybody, we'll see you after the next match. So, bye.